morning, ladies and gentlemen. What a momentous day. It's almost 29 minutes to 11 o'clock in this fine whatever morning it is. If you want to contact this program, there's no reason at all why you shouldn't. After all, we have a friendly ear and nose and elbow. The number to ring is 0645 555 678. I'll repeat that in my best DJ voice. Enunciation each particular syllable. Enunciating, should I say. 0645 555 678. 0645 555 678. You have no excuse now not to ring us. We feel lonely without you. After all, you're a very important part of the program. And the BBC, it's your BBC. Always remember that. Never forget it. Never forget it. We hear the strains of a synthetic instrument. This is a band called Supertramp. I always like this. You don't hear too much of this band. Take a Long Way Home, written by the residents of the Garvahi Road. It's now coming up to 24 minutes to 11 o'clock. See, Liam Neeson has refused the offer to become a free man, whatever it is, of the borough of Ballymena. That'll put a cat among the pigeons, I imagine. Good crack. Oh, I've got some letters here. I'll start with the good ones first. Mr. Anderson, I'm writing to you to complain about the way you're always running this country down. On Tuesday, there was a Yank talking to you, and you'd done nothing but run this country down and egg him on. This country could not be compared to the dump he lives in. If you hate this country so much, why don't you go and live somewhere else? I don't think this letter's from me at all. I'll just readdress it at the top. I'll just try to talk back to you. But I'll read the rest of it. I'll tell you why. Because you're too well off here. Another thing, stop taking God's name in vain. He made you and died for you. Well, I'd like to personally thank him for that. Do you not know the commandments? And stop playing that horrible record of Dolores Keane. It's awful. I see no mention in the Ten Commandments of Dolores Keane's recordings. But then again, Gerry, grow up. You run with the fox and hunt with the hounds, always contradicting yourself. Thank you very much for that. Nice to share a thought or two. What?
Would you talk to Desi?
As soon as I'm finished, John.
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. That's why I asked you very nicely.
I'm on a roll here.
Would you talk to Desi?
I will, of course. But
thank you. Well, Desi's on one.
I'm on a roll here.
Okay.
I'm just about to read out something very interesting, and you've ruined my train of thought.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You should not be looking at me. When my head is down, it means I'm reading. When my head is up, it means I'm not.
Right. Well, where's your head now?
Up. Gary Andrews has sent me a puzzle. What two things in the air can make a woman pregnant?
What two things in the air can make a woman? What two things in the air?
Yeah.
No.
Her legs.
Rio's on
also
two.
He says,
Rio's on two.
He also said, how many Hugo Duncans does it take to change a light bulb?
Okay.
One to change it and one to tell it that Hugo loves it.
Rio's on two.
Is she? You
No,
don't
it's
like
a him.
jokes.
It's a him.
Rio?
Rio.
What kind of a name is that?
Asking me from Lurgan.
What kind of a name is that?
Gerry.
Yes. What
I'm
kind of
not
a name
from
is
Lurgan.
that? Rio.
Yeah.
That's a very nice name, actually.
Well, that's a fairly strange name. No, it's,
What's the origin of it?
Pardon me?
What's the origin of your name? Were you conceived in Rio de Janeiro?
No, people often ask. It was actually, I'm from here, I'm from Lisburn, but I was brought up in Canada. No, it's because my middle names are Henry Flood, as in the politician from many, many years ago. So Flood is in lots of water, so the parents decided to give me the first name of Rio.
That's very convoluted, that. So you're Rio Flood?
Rio Henry Flood.
Rio Henry Flood.
But we don't talk about the Henry Flood, really, and
no.
Rio's just a bit of a joke. Listen, I was phoning up because I think you were talking about states and cities in the United States.
Yes.
And I'm almost positive that the capital of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is Worcester.
Or as indeed, as we call it, Worcester.
Worcester, well, that's what they would say here, but the Americans would actually pronounce it Worcester.
They have more sense. I mean, Worcester sauce makes more sense to me than Worcester sauce.
Well, it does, yeah. Well, Worcestershire.
I hate Worcestershire. I have to interrupt you and say that I don't think at any stage during the course of the last few days we discussed this.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because I just dialed 555-648 or whatever. Is that not your show?
It may have been Bennett. Bennett's always talking about capitals and
You know,
things.
it probably was Bennett.
Well, I'll pass any information that you have on to him. What are you trying to say here?
Well, I don't know. No, basically what I was doing, Gerry, was I was answering Bennett's question, but I seem to have completely the wrong radio show.
That's okay. We often get the detritus from Bennett's show. What was his question?
The flotsam and the jetsam. Well, they had been going on for about 15 minutes about the smallest state and the capital of this state and the capital of that state, and about 6 people had phoned in, and they kept getting it wrong.
As many as 6?
About 6, yeah. I mean, it seemed to be a long point. And then when I phoned this number now, I hear questions about what's in the air that makes women pregnant.
Yeah. It's obviously not the same program, you can tell.
Well, yeah, I kind of gathered that. Did you get many people up for your St. Patrick's Day, or was that?
We didn't. Canceled? We tried to keep people away because we
I thought as much.
We had nothing to offer them. Because, we in Northern Ireland have not learned the art of celebrating St. Patrick's Day yet. we kind of shout at one another and we kind of wander through the rain disconsolately.
Well, maybe next year you'll get a chance to go over to the States yourself.
No, I would feel guilty about doing that, but I think I probably have to, because it was pretty miserable St. Patrick's Day here, I have to tell you that.
Yeah, it was really, wasn't it?
It was pretty bad, yeah. People trying to make a show out of it, and it didn't work, did it?
And Kelly, he was over there.
Yeah, but he may as well have stayed here because he brought the studio over with him. He was in a small room with a number of people that you see all the time.
I think somebody suggested it could have been computer imagery behind him, and he hadn't left Belfast.
Now, we have great plans for next year. One of them is to be alive, and the other one is to go somewhere on St. Patrick's Day, because we're not going through that again.
Well, being alive and
George
possibly
Jones
a holiday would be a...
gloating from New York.
How's the old Nonic Juice going? The Nonic Juice saga?
What's that? I think maybe you have Bennett again. What is this?
The Tahiti.
Oh, sorry, the Tahitian noni juice.
Yeah, I've only started listening to your program about the last 3 weeks, and that seemed to be an ongoing thing. And I actually walked past you on the street a few days ago, but...
Was I sober?
I was a judge.
Right.
I was a judge.
Did you address me at all?
I didn't know it was windy and you were settling your hair.
Oh, it's a full-time problem for me.
And dressed looking a bit like J.P. Dunleavy or a suitable Irish country gentleman.
I'm getting great wear out of that suit, I'll tell you. Well, I'm sorry we're not John Bennett. I'll pass on your information, which is that you say that Worcester is the capital of... Only John Bennett could get 15 minutes out of that.
And Rhode Island is the smallest state in the Union.
Indeed, yes. Was he asking that too?
He was, yeah.
Oh, he's a devil.
So is he this isn't the same show then, is it?
No, two separate shows. See, what actually happens is between 9 and 10:30, John Bennett teaches people things like that, teaches them how to pronounce things and spell things.
Yeah.
And then at 10:30, we throw all that away.
And do you come on at 10:30?
I come on at 10:30, and I stay until 12 o'clock, and then the crazies come on then and give out.
Well, that's what I thought, because I had the radio tuned into what I thought was normally your program, and there's this other guy, and when I phoned up, I got you and not him.
Yeah, that's what probably happened. You probably turned on the radio too early. It's a mistake that many people make, but they learn from it.
And you're up in Radio Foyle,
yes.
So you're up in Derry?
Yes, Sony-nominated station.
Is that right?
Yes, we've been nominated for two of the radio Oscars, along with 3 other programs. I just thought I'd throw that in.
Well, good luck. Yeah, you may as well.
On Radio Ulster, yeah, we're riding high, as the expression goes. Maybe you could help me. You've had some experience on the North American continent.
Yeah.
A gentleman sends me an email, a gentleman called Chris Stevens, and he says, in August this year, I'm planning a trip to Montana. What's the capital of Montana?
The capital of Montana, off my top of my head, I think is pronounced Butte. It looks like Butt, B-U.
We don't say Butt in this program.
Well, no, it's B-U-T-T-E.
It's Butte, Montana.
I think it's Butte.
That's 10 out of 10 for that. We'll send you a Radio Ulster fleece. Anyway,
to it.
he's going on a trip to Montana, USA, and on my travels, I'll be flying into and staying for 2 nights in San Francisco. Now, what has this got to do with you, I hear you ask? Well, yesterday yourself and Mr. Coyle were chatting about the place, about how you two had been there. Yes, Radio Ulster sent us to San Francisco to look after Daniel O'Donnell at one stage. We brought Daniel O'Donnell to Alcatraz. Many people say we should have left him, but we brought him back. This was all due to a man phoning in who lives there and is over on holiday here in sunny Ulster. I've been trying to get hold of people who've been there to basically pick their brains about the place and had no success until now. I'd not planned to, but it turns out I'll be travelling by myself. So as I am sure you can understand, I'm a little apprehensive about going there alone. So how could you advise where I should avoid? Well, the Tenderloin for a start. Who not to buy leather jackets from? I've not yet booked accommodation there yet, and I'm still looking. I know you're a busy showbiz personality with a glittering career and all that. So any help, big or small, would prove very useful. See, the people are ringing in and wanting to know whether or not to go to San Francisco. As a matter of fact, I can help that man, because myself and Mr. Coyle... What?
A gentleman just phoned there to say that Helena is the capital of Montana.
Yeah.
You're working on the wrong show. You should be on with Bennett. You know I don't care what the capital of Montana is. What is it again?
Helena.
Helena it is, sir. Yeah, it's not Butte at all.
No.
I suspected you said the first thing come into your head.
I did.
Yeah. You see, this is the type of thing you have to warn yourself against. Don't do that again. Myself, remember the hotel we stayed in San Francisco? Remember, it had no windows or toilets.
Yes, you told that story.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell any story. I'm just saying to you to remember the hotel.
Do. Tell me this, just...
It's called the Shamrock. Stay away from that.
Could you tell me where I stayed?
You stayed In the same hotel as me.
No, but do you remember we went to the outskirts with? We stopped with a relative of yours. Where was that?
Barron County.
Yeah.
Besides
Lovely.
Luke Skywalker Ranch. But we
Beautiful
didn't know Luke Skywalker Ranch was there at that time. If we'd known, we'd have called in.
I was chased by a snake out there.
That's right.
That's right. I was frightened of it. Like I ran home.
And you said to yourself, where's St. Patrick when you need him? You were chased by a snake.
That's right.
I was very surprised that your heart stood up to that. Because even tell me the circumstances again. I can't seem to remember.
You and
Another colleague
went into San Francisco.
Yes.
And I didn't like San Francisco.
No, too many people there.
I didn't like it. It was too windy.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
You don't even like Derry.
And I liked where your auntie lived. And I loved, because it took me back to cowboy days.
Exactly, because you could see the Indians nestling in the hills. You can
And I
imagine them there.
wanted
The blue-purple plains.
And me being a walker, I wanted to walk. And I roamed away into the hills.
Into Indian country.
Yes. And this snake.
Can you describe it for the benefit of the listeners?
The snake?
Yeah.
No, I took to my heels. I looked down.
No, what is your image of it? Was it a rattler?
No,
Or a whistler?
apparently
Boa constrictor?
your uncle, when I told him that I ran home, he laughed at me because apparently it was only a grass snake.
Yeah, but how are you supposed to know that?
Exactly, me from,
Exactly. We're not used to snakes. You should have stuck out your leg and tested to see if it was poisonous or not.
I took
Have a suck of that, you should have said.
No, I took to me. Is Rio away?
Rio's still here.
Is he?
Are you here, Rio? He get fed up.
I think so.
Sorry, Rio? Rio? Sorry, he's gone.
Yes, Tom.
Yeah.
You see, that's what happens when we start to talk. People get fed up. Anyway, never mind that. You can't remember, was it a diamond head snake, an adder, a black bamba?
A lady phoned in to
Yes.
say that you left your car keys
Yes.
in her shop a couple of weeks ago.
Did I?
And she sees you still driving around, but you never collected the keys from her shop. How are you doing this?
Yes.
Is that a fact?
Yes.
That you mentioned where her shop is?
I know, I'll tell you.
Will
Yes.
you tell me later?
I will.
I left my car keys in her shop. How come I'm still driving about?
That's what she wants to know.
It's magic.
Right. She also found your bank card yesterday. You left your bank card in the machine.
Was that the woman who... I did that yesterday, yeah,
Yes,
because
it's
they
in the
wouldn't give me
bank.
any money.
It's in
and
the bank waiting for
I
you.
ran away in disgrace.
She got it.
I got it, Jen.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
thank you for all that.
Yeah.
Good. Wonder where Rio went. Why don't you ring him up and apologise?
Right.
Tell him we were talking about snakes.
Fair enough.
He'll understand. Here's a man who sends me an email. He says, I wonder if you could help me. I've been wondering for some time. This is a John Bennett question. Which is the greater, a lock, a ween, or a dose? A lock of potatoes, a ween of apples, or a dose of bats? Which is bigger?
I would say
And he said, what's the difference
I'd say
between
a
a lock
dose.
and a brave lock, a fair ween, or a whole dose? Like a whole dose of swans.
a dose. I would say was the largest.
Well, a fair ween would maybe perhaps be more than
No, a fair ween.
a whole dose. A brave lock. A brave lock would be what, 7?
Brave lock would be.
7?
Oh no. Well, it depends what you're talking about.
Brave lock of spuds.
Oh, well, you could
7, 8.
Brave lock.
What about a fair ween of spuds? Or a wee?
Many people were at the football match. Oh, they're brave lock at it. So how many
Could be
is that?
thousands.
You see, yeah.
And you wouldn't say there was a whole dose of people in it.
No.
No.
There was a whole dose waiting to get in, I would
Right.
say.
A whole... No, you wouldn't say that.
Would you not?
Anyway, he's waiting for the response. Maybe the people out there can help us. A ween, a dose, a lock, a fair ween, a whole dose, indeed a brave lock. Disturbing news is coming my way. But first of all, I have to read some of this stuff here. Robert from Mahara wants me to play Fleetwood Mac. And I'm going to sneeze now in a moment. It's very annoying. Excuse me. Hello to Alistair Fullerton. I'll sneeze 5 or 6 times before this is over. Hello to Alistair Fullerton, who's driving a lorry from Letterkenny. Good morning, Alistair. Hello from your sister Anne. And happy birthday to excuse me. Happy birthday. There used to be a... What happened to the button you used to...
the sneeze button, or the
Where
cough
is it?
button. I don't know.
There's... Jesus.
Yeah.
There used to be one on the old desks. When you sneezed, you pressed it, and then they couldn't hear you. There's nothing at all. Just goes to show you the more technology moves on, the less it works for you.
Right.
I mean, you can't sneeze now at all. What were you saying about Romano's ballroom?
Apparently they pulled it down this morning.
You're not serious.
Well, I don't know.
Has George been told? I do an outside broadcast from outside.
Yeah.
Is that true? Romano's ballroom?
I know nothing about Romano's Ballroom. I don't even know where it was.
Well, it was converted. It was a big toy shop, I think it was. Last time I was in it, a couple of years ago.
I don't know Belfast at all.
You don't, do you?
I know how to get to...
Let me
the
tell you about
BBC.
Romano's ballroom. The Hercules Bar was round the corner.
Around the corner from where?
From Romano's Ballroom. I can't
Where
remember.
was Romano's Ballroom?
I can't remember. I can see it now, but I can't
Hercules
remember
Bar.
the name of the street. I can't remember the name of the street.
Where is it from? Where is it from? Robinson's.
Right.
That's me. That's me in Bell, and I know Shaftesbury Square.
Ah, Shaftesbury Square, huh? Well, you're nowhere near it. Shaftesbury. Go back to Robinson's.
McDonald's.
Go back to Robinson's.
Oh, back to Robinson's.
Walk down past the BBC.
Right.
Around to your left.
Blackstaff. Right
No,
down
no,
past
no, no. Go
Blackstaff.
around to your left. Go around towards the City Hall.
Up. Wait a minute. No, wait a minute now. Do I go past the Beaten Docket? Up that be straight there.
You do not necessarily. You're in Robinson's, right?
I'm in Robinson's.
How long will you be in there?
A pint in front of me.
How long will you be? In half an hour?
Right.
Right. When you're finished in Robinson's, you go out and you turn right. Okay? And you go past
Down
the
past
Scandia.
Right.
And you go up
right.
left to Spires. You turn up there.
Wait a minute, you're going too fast.
I'm not going too fast.
Scania, right.
You cross the street then. Of course, be very careful, there's no zebra crossing.
Right.
And you go up there, and it's up around there. Up around there somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something about Romano's. I'll tell you two very interesting things about Romano's. You know, it brings me back. Do you know I was playing on Romano's Ballroom the night that Dana won the Eurovision Song Contest? Did a TV on upstairs, and we could see it. And all the people were up watching it, and people were ignoring us, and we were playing
What was the
it
talent
downstairs.
like?
Talent was great.
Was it?
In Romano's, the girls that went to Romano's were beautiful. As a matter of fact, it could almost echo what used to be above the door in Milano's. Through these portals, past the most beautiful girls in the world.
Well, where was the no ticket, no tote man?
That was the Astor Ballroom in Belfast. No ticket, no tote, no ticket, no tote.
Right.
I think he's dead now. If he isn't, give us a ring and tell us that he's not.
Right.
So incidentally, there was a...
So what was so special
also,
about Romano's apart from the beautiful
well,
girls?
the memory I have about it was one time, what you used to do was you used to use these speakers, you see, you have them in the band, and the stage was funny, so you had to hang them from the balcony.
Right.
They were big speakers, big at the time, 4 feet, something like that. So we had one, and it fell down and hit 2 people. Oh, and the fella was brought to hospital.
Oh.
Yes, broke his leg. So it's the only man who could ever say he went to Romano's and home with a broken leg. But that's a sad story, and I'm sure he's recovered by now. That's very sad to hear that Romano's has been pulled down
You
today.
should try and locate that man.
The man whose leg was broken by our speaker.
Well, was that the chess man?
Yeah, there must be many people's legs broken in
Not the
Romano's.
chess man.
Probably not. We didn't break legs as a rule.
Yeah. Hence
But,
the expression.
Yeah,
Go out and break a leg.
exactly. The Scottish play. Please
Is there
play...
a man for him?
Pardon?
Is there somebody for you?
There is somebody here, yes. I'm just going through some of this correspondence here. Please play the...
It's wee Hugh.
I know, you told me that earlier.
I didn't.
He dead! I got it written down, Hugh, it says here. Do you think I just wrote that down for no reason?
Right.
I know he's there.
We were cut off with Hugh before.
I know. I'll go back to him now in a moment. Please play Broken Years by Anthony John Clark for Sam Thompson. And also Lorraine McGuire from Cookstown wants to hear Dominic Kerwin. Do you know what I'm going to play now? I'm going to play... I'm going to play a song by Robin Mark. Robin Mark's a Christian, born-again Christian. What?
You can't play Rob Mark because Hugh's waiting.
After I talk to Hugh, I'm just setting this up.
There's a man who wants to know, is there any chess clubs in Belfast that he could send his 8-year-old grandson to?
I don't know.
That's why I'm asking you. You seem to know a lot about Belfast.
Maybe we could ask the people out there if they know any chess
See,
clubs
if you
for
weren't,
8-year-old children.
if you and James Morton were still speaking, we could ask James Morton.
Well, the last time I'll give him Tahitian nonny juice, I'll tell you that.
Right.
All
Will you
right,
talk to Hugh?
I will. Hello, Hugh.
Hello, Gerry.
Good morning, Hugh. Sorry, we were cut off in the middle of you playing your CD.
Yeah,
What happened?
I don't know.
Or something probably out of our control.
It's not my... it wasn't through my engineering skills because I'm brilliant.
I know. Put on your CD again. Are you in a position to do that?
Yes, I have it set up.
Give us another 30 seconds of it. If it cuts out this time, we'll have to blame you.
Oh, you can't blame me, Gerry.
Well, if it happens again, we're going to blame you.
All right.
Go ahead. I was enjoying this. Having a bit of trouble?
No.
Okay. It's not coming. Oh, there it is.
You hear it now.
It's worth the wait.
But until then, my heart will go on singing. Until then, home.
It's very good.
My heart can see.
Yeah,
That's just the chorus, Gerry.
that's very good. You must be proud of that. That sounds good.
I am proud of it.
Because you're not a young man, are you?
No, I'm 85 now.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's not bad. Will you send me a copy of that?
I will surely, Gerry.
Have you got a spare copy? I don't want you to be going to
I'll
any
send
trouble.
you one. Don't you worry if I have a spare one or not.
All right then. Well done. So this is your number 2 record.
Eh?
This is your number 2 record.
And listen, I enjoy your program very much.
Good man. Thank you very much for playing that for us, and I look forward to hearing that.
You're very welcome, Gerry.
Okay. Good man.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Glad we heard a bit of that. What a sweet, marvellous voice.